local public school parents are fighting for their rights to have their children opt out of LGBTQ-themed lessons that they believe violate their religious beliefs.
Their case is now at the Supreme Court, where supporters and opponents of opting out gathered today. That's where our Maryland Bureau Chief Brad Bell joins us live. He's been following this crisis in the classroom for years.
And Brad, I know you listened to today's oral arguments. What stood out to you?
Yeah, really what stood out today was the questions from the judges. These parents have been fighting for a long time. When they heard these questions today, well, they felt like they had a really good day. The small coalition of parents, Muslim, Christian, and Jewish, never imagined their case would end up before the Supreme Court. And they say it didn't need to. If only the Montgomery County school system had respected their religious rights to have their kids opt out of early elementary lessons involving LGBTQ books.
The board is mandating that elementary school children, including our son, engage with storybooks celebrating pride parades, drag queens, and gender transitions. As Christians, we teach our son that gender is a gift from God and a natural, unchanging part of who we are.
This is not a matter of banning curriculum or stopping others from following their beliefs. It is about protecting our rights as parents to decide what our children learn and when.
The Montgomery County school system disagrees, fighting the parents all the way to the high court, even today issuing a statement saying, quote, "We believe a curriculum that fosters respect for people of different backgrounds does not burden the exercise of religion." Now the Supreme Court will decide who's right. Though during 2.5 hours of oral arguments today, the court's conservative majority seemed to signal they are on the parents' side. Justice Samuel Alito at one point asking the school system's lawyer, what's the big deal about allowing them to opt out?
Our Supreme Court justices may hold the power to write this chapter, but we will always hold the pen.
Outside the court, LGBTQ activists staging a day-long rally with music, speakers, and drag performers. They say to them, it is a big deal. Jill Ortman-Faust is a former Montgomery County School Board member.
When you have your kids in public schools, and especially with the diversity we have in our public schools, you need to make sure everybody's included.
The court's decision should come this summer. The parents now optimistic.
We hope the court will agree that school board officials can never replace parents who know and love their kids best.
Yeah, now the liberal justices on the court did seem a bit more sympathetic to the school system's arguments. At one point, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson asked the parent's lawyer, posed a hypothetical. It said, what if, for instance, there is a teacher who is gay and who has a wedding picture in the classroom? Would you want to opt out of that as well? As we said, decision of the court is due around the end of June. At the Supreme Court, Brad Bell, 7 News.
Thank you, Brad. And I spoke earlier today with a Maryland law professor about the far-reaching implications of this case. The conservative majority court has signaled support for the religious rights of parents. What are the national implications of this case?
National implications are if a school allows a child to opt out of anything, they must allow religious students to opt out of everything. That, needless to say, would play havoc with public school curriculum.